Football Podcast Extraordinaire. Today we have your three hosts, Kyle, Jim, Heebs, and we have an extra today. Someone who you all might know. You want to say who you are?
It's Jackie.
It's Jackie.
Welcome to the show, Jackie. Again.
Thanks.
Second appearance this year. Should we start with the breaking news from today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, Joe Flacco is now a Bengal. So after we ran up against that elite quarterback in week 3, we got to run up against him again for a different AFC North team in week 6.
The elite Joe Flacco is coming for his retirement plan. Back-to-back wins against the Packers. Retire.
Did Parsons get a sack against him last time? Because I know he wanted one. I don't think he got one. Just gives him a second chance at it.
Oh, that's right. He wants to get a sack on.
He wants to get a sack on every quarterback he can. And this time he has a much worse O-line to run against, so maybe this will be the second chance to get a sack on Flacco.
Much better receivers, though. So
True.
It might not be as easy to get to the quarterback because there might be a guy running down the field for a 6.
It depends upon how the game goes. Mike Parsons could get a sack on 2 different quarterbacks this game.
That's possible, too.
All I know is at one point, Demo for the Lions, David Montgomery, had a 120 passer rating, and Browning last week had a 6.3 passer rating. So our running back was looking good.
Browning looked pretty bad for the vast majority of that game. We want to talk that game first? Lions-Bengals?
Yeah, if we're just going to start off there, that's fine.
Yeah. The Lions, they had this game the entire way. They're up 28-3 going into the fourth quarter. Bengals, they did show a little bit of life in the fourth quarter. Normally I'd call that garbage time, but Dan Campbell doesn't really ever sit his guys and never really takes it easy, so it's not as garbage timey as it is against some other teams, I would say. But yeah, Browning, just embarrassing. He threw 3 picks. He fumbled once. I don't think they lost the fumble, but 2 of the picks, I think, were on back-to-back drives. Literally, they threw a pick, Lions scored, they got the ball back. He threw another pick within 4 plays.
I walked away, and then I came back and Lions at the ball again. I was like, wait, what happened? And then I looked at it. I was like, oh, another interception. It's like, okay. Yeah, it was 2 very quick back-to-backs, if you want to say that.
I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one either, but yeah, it was anal zone just standing in mid coverage, and someone was running behind him, and he just throws it right to Anzalone. I was like, I don't know how you didn't see that guy there, but he was just standing still. So my only thought is without his hair flowing, you can't see the guy. He just becomes invisible if he stands too still. Because the announcers were like, I don't know. They were saying the same thing.
I mean, they are very nice, golden, beautiful locks. If it's
if he's
It was
running,
an indoor
you can see it.
Is an indoor stadium. Maybe the light was reflecting off the hair and just kind of blinded him. I mean,
other than that, Goff looked pretty good in this game. 258 yards, 82.6 completion percentage, and 3 touchdowns. And David Montgomery threw the 4th touchdown for them. So he's got some.
Threw and ran one.
And he ran one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Lions 4-1 now. Only 1 loss. But they are going to finally have to start playing some teams with winning records in the upcoming weeks, and so far they've lost to every single team with a winning record that they played. So, how do you think they're going to do going forward?
That's all you guys got after week 1? Just still living in that one? I mean, I think
we're the only team with a winning record you guys have played yet.
Well, congratulations, you beat the best team in the NFL.
Which makes us the best team.
The team that beat the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even remotely close right now after seeing some of the games this week. I think at this point in the season, the Lions look like the cream of the crop of the league. Who's the MVP right now?
Baker?
I would say Goff.
Oh, really?
Stats are better. 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's completing 76% of his passes. I think he's second or third in yards. He might even be first. He only 2. He's probably third in yards. But I think he's just playing on his mind. I mean, you could probably argue Baker. I think most of the stuff I was watching, reading this week after the games were really strong in Goff's favor. Not to say that, it doesn't mean there's other people for it, but right now I don't know if anyone's playing better than him.
I mean, Baker's had a lot of game-winning drives, though. Goff's just kind of been...
Yeah, Goff doesn't make mistakes. He just went 82% completion, 258 yards, 3 touchdowns in the game. Before that, he had 3 incompletions.
I guess it's. I mean, he might win. He might get it. I don't know. But I'd say it's harder to do that when you're in a game versus when you're up by 25 points or.
So does he not get
even
credit
20
for
some points.
beating these teams this bad? Like, he's the reason they're getting these crazy scores.
Kind of, but the last 2 games are what, 3 or 4 turnovers apiece in those games. Like that's your defense.
Because it's
just
the best
putting
team
you
in
in
the
a very
NFL.
easy field position.
They have an elite defense and elite offense, and I think at this point, I just don't know if there's anyone that's better than Goff statistically. I think you ended the season today, it would be almost unanimous in Goff's favor. As of right now. I don't think that's going to be the case through the end of the season. There's a lot of games to go, but I think he's played the most clean football. The Lions are already averaging more points per game this year than last year, and Goff, I think, even looks better than he did last year. And the Lions' offensive line has gotten worse, and Goff seems to have improved even more as a pocket passer. He's been great this year.
You guys had to play some good teams before you can say that. Like, you played the Browns, who have 1 win. You played the Ravens, who have 1 win.
We played the Ravens when they were still
Bengals,
somewhat healthy.
The Bengals, who have 1 win. Like, your opponents that you've beaten have 5 combined wins between all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've dominated every one of those games.
Yeah, but they're the bottom of the league tier teams right now.
You can only play your schedule, and they've dominated each one of those teams.
But I feel like if you want to win MVP, you got to win some. You got to win against good teams too. And so far, you've lost against all the good teams you played.
Well, that's a pretty small sample size, but yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, this also goes back to last
Tampa
year and
Bay
the year
Buccaneers
before that.
coming
The
up.
Lions haven't. They've always beat every team. They don't have a stigma like the Packers where they can't beat winning teams.
But you do this year.
For one game, we do. Yes, for one game. For one game. But I guess, I don't know, make an argument. Who's better than them this year?
Buffalo.
No, Buffalo does not seem very good. Buffalo has the exact same argument. Who did they beat this year?
Their teams have.
Their
they
signature
beat
win was-
have 4 wins.
The signature win was the Ravens, and the Ravens look absolutely terrible.
But
At least
again,
the Ravens
I think
were
the
healthy
Lions
when they played them.
and the Bills have a little bit of an excuse because they played it when they were still fully healthy. Or the Bills played it when they're fully healthy. The Lions
Yeah.
played them when they're a little bit more banged up. And right now, they're not the team that they were against Lions or Bills. So that, I know that's the fun thing to say right now because a lot of people are saying, yeah, the Bills teams that they beat only have 4 wins. But I think a lot of people are overreacting to the Ravens one because of what's happened the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that was at least a shootout. Derrick Henry was still playing at that point. Now Derrick Henry's been non-existent since that week, essentially. So the Ravens have definitely gone way down in the tier list. I'm sure people still have them high, but I don't know how you can
Oh,
put them
no, they're
that
not.
high.
I think until Lamar comes back, people are just going to... I mean, if Lamar was there, yes, they would still be probably a top 10 team, but...
Yeah, but I
With
mean,
Lamar.
overall in the season, tier list would probably have them pretty high. Because they assume Lamar will come back and they can maybe... I mean, you're hoping to run the table at this point. You packed up so many
I
losses.
expect them to be 1-6, and then we'll say 5-7 at some point when Lamar comes back and they win some games, and then it's going to be one of those weird seasons where you're like, oh, the Steelers at this point have 4 losses. They're like, ooh, this isn't good. That's how I see their season going.
But if Lamar comes back and they actually run the table and get a good playoff positioning, then Lamar probably wins MVP again.
Yeah. No, he missed too many games, I think, at that point. But anyway, who's better than the Lions right now?
The team that beat them, I would say.
So the team that has 1 loss and a tie?
Yeah.
Or 2 losses?
Compared to 1 loss and no tie.
I will take the 1 loss and no tie over a loss and a tie.
That's fair.
Eagles aren't
That
in
math
contention?
checks out.
Eagles, I don't know. I feel like the Eagles would have lost a lot of games this year if it weren't for fluky special teams things that just keep going their way every week.
There's some problems with their offense right now.
Yeah.
They're
If you look at their rankings,
struggling.
they're ranked 28th in rush yards per game. Maybe 28th in pass yards per game. 22nd in rush yards per game. Their defense is giving up. I can't remember. It's the 8th most points in the NFL. It's dude, this team looks like garbage on every single stat except for they get more points
They've
than other
won
teams.
games,
But
but
the special teams keep giving them points every week.
Yeah, they won fluky in some games, and they just don't have that same dominance that they had last season. They kind of look more like the team the year prior, where they changed their offensive defense coordinator. They kind of slept into the playoffs and just never really amounted to anything. They had a winning record 7-1 or something crazy at the start of the season that year too, but it was the same type of wins. Everyone was just kind of this is a little weird, and yeah, by the end of the season they just weren't as good of a roster as we expected
Yeah, I
them to
think
be.
they wound up losing like 8 out of their last 10 games or something and limped into the playoffs and then got bounced by I think it was Tampa Bay bounced them that year or something along those lines. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it looks like right now. And they have so much talent there, I can't imagine they don't manage to figure it out. Honestly, like, how can you not figure it out with that much talent on your team? But, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's still early in the season.
It is very
It's kind
early.
of foolish to even try to even make a comment like that. But you guys like to hit on that team, so number 1 team in the NFL, and I don't think it's easy to debate right now.
When's y'all's by? You got a while yet, right?
I don't know. I think it's like in the middle of the season. I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle of the season. I know it's not like a late one.
Well, yeah, that's all I got for Lions Bengals. It was a game. Not the most exciting one of the week. Jump into Vikings Browns.
Yeah.
All right. So Vikings trailed this most of the game, but they wound up securing a win with a game-winning drive with 25 seconds left on the clock. Wentz, he looked pretty good in this game. Threw for 236, 1 touchdown. Cam Akers threw the second touchdown, so both these NFC North teams had running backs throwing touchdowns this week. The trick plays are in. Browns had Dylan Gabriel starting rather than Flacco this week. Hence the trade, I guess. He did not look good. He did have 2 touchdowns and no picks, but only threw for 190 yards, 57% completion rate. It's his first start. I'm not going to judge him too harshly, but it didn't look great. Judkins, he looked awesome. 4.8 yards per carry, 23 attempts. I'd be kicking myself if I had dropped that guy in fantasy.
I mean, to lose out on a stud like that. Whew. It'd be really bad, too, if you didn't really draft running backs and you had 2 really good receivers. Well, I guess one of those guys is injured, too, but yeah. Judkins. He's looking good.
He's looking very good.
I think he's the best rookie so far. Like, as a runner, obviously receivers, there's a different player, but I think he's looked like the best overall running back from the class so far. He's been really impressive to me. Like I said, after that one game where he had 10 carries for 60 yards, week 2, and I was just like, you don't give that type of workload to a guy unless you are all in on him.
Yeah, he had like a 40-yard touchdown called back to in this game.
Yep.
Off a hold, but I will say I think the hold definitely got him a touchdown on that one. I don't know if the guy would have tackled him, but he would have made contact with him and slowed him down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, Heebs, what do you think? Because you're the one that's been the Wentz supporter out of this. What are you thinking there's enough now to consider moving on from JJ? I mean, this is a really good defense. I mean, we were talking about it last week and the week before how this is probably the best defense in the league. So, Wentz did pretty well against the best defense in the league. Is this something that's going to happen, do you think?
No, I think this is one of those where you're going to kill a guy's confidence like J.J. McCarthy if you sit him coming back from the injury. I think you have to plug him in. But I think we talked about this later last week or the week before, but just give him a short leash.
Yeah.
Just see what happens.
I mean, if they're winning with Wentz and they don't go to... I think they're on bye this week, so maybe JJ will be back for the following game. But, like, if you don't have that bye and you play one more game, like, you probably have to sit JJ, let him get healthy. And then it's like, man, if you let Wentz have, like, a good game or two, then it's like, maybe the conversation does come up. You know, this team still have, like, playoff aspirations. So if JJ's not ready, that's a tough choice. I can't believe they moved on from Darnold for someone that doesn't look capable of playing. That might be one of the bigger blunders of the season.
That's why I think J.J. McCarthy's better than we think he is. Like, we just haven't seen... He had his first start, which was brutal till the end, and then he had one other start. That's it, right?
Right.
And I don't think O'Connell would have moved on from Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold didn't get that much money. They could have afforded it if they wanted to. I don't think they would have moved on unless he actually thought J.J. McCarthy was as good or very close to as good.
Yes.
And young and will hopefully get better.
Capable.
So I hope that's just a bad couple of games from McCarthy. That's my thoughts on it.
No, I agree with that 100%. I mean, I thought when it happened, that was the move. Like, they had to feel really good about McCarthy to move on from Darnold because I wouldn't call him a cost-controlled asset or anything like that because, like, obviously he's a free agent, but like they were going to get him for a value that was below the other quarterbacks on the market, like for at least the top guys. And it's like, that's a winning move if you get a good player and a player that played as well as him, to get him for like $10 million less than the top quarterback. That's a win for your team because he was playing just as good. And look at this year, he's been incredible.
He's still playing good. Yeah, we'll get to him in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I assume McCarthy's coming back. There's no way they don't do that. Wentz is not your future. You got to give McCarthy a chance to see if you got something there, or if you need to draft somebody again. Nothing else really makes sense for him. Unless they think you'll really benefit from another year of sitting behind somebody, but Wentz doesn't seem like the kind of guy you want to sit behind.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Vikings-Browns? In London? Vikings are undefeated in London. Never lost a game there. I think they're 5-0 now.
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
They like to play those type of games, though, that London games and Thursday night games. Like they're like, especially in the last couple of years, especially with O'Connell, they always win ugly, right? They always win games with like weird scores, or just like they battle out with a team like the Browns and just barely win on a last-minute field goal. That's just like their thing. So I could see that. Those type of London games get like that, where they always get real ugly. You just kind of play good defense and just try to get out of there because of the traveling and stuff. I think takes a lot out of the players. So yeah, that seems. If a lot of those happen in the last couple of years, I bet you that's a lot of O'Connell.
Nick, I have to wonder if Minnesota had a little bit of an advantage considering the week before they played in Dublin, so then they just had to go.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were there.
Yeah, they were in Dublin, then London. But I'm sure that was part of the agreement. Is if you're going to play 2 international games, you get back-to-back ones.
Right.
So one of them is at least a small travel game.
That might be what they're trying to do in the league in general, because they want more games, and if they can convince the teams to stay for 2 weeks, they're going to probably really get more of them.
Well, it sounds like he wants every single team to play an international game
every year.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hearing.
So 16 international games a year, which I hate it.
Yeah.
But they want to grow the sport. I get it, but I don't know why they can't just be happy with being one of the biggest sports in the fucking world. It's like, now we got to get bigger. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, Packers and Bears, they were on bye, so nothing to say about them. So I guess the standings right now are, Lions would be on top, 4-1. Vikings would be second, 3-2. Packers are 2-1-1, and Bears are 2-2. The bye week cost us both the division guys won their games.
We'll get those back.
We'll get them back easy.
Good luck. Good luck.
I mean, if we didn't have to play fucking Joe Flacco every other week, it'd be a little bit easier. But
Yeah, maybe you should worry about getting past Joe
some people
Flacco
can't get that lucky.
before you worry about the Lions, because elite Joe Flacco's back.
Yeah, there was a lot of other good games this week. I'm going to start from the start. So Thursday Night Football, we had the Rams. They lose to San Francisco, who has about, 3 starters left playing on their team.
Yeah.
Mac Jones, return of the Mac. Those for 342 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also eating bananas on the sideline. His fucking pants fell down. He pukes on the sideline. This dude is fucking crazy. I don't know. I love this game. Everything about this game was awesome. I couldn't believe the Niners won this one. The Rams looked... Going into this game, I don't know if anyone in our Pick'em League picked the Niners. I mean, they just beat the hell. And the Rams have looked great so far. So to see them lose to the Niners, divisional opponent, that's a big game. And yeah, Mac Jones stepped up. I think he's getting one more start before Purdy comes back. Does anybody know?
He
got Purdy on your
should.
team.
Purdy's estimated to be out until the 12th. So yeah.
So he missed this week too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Mac Jones is getting one more start.
I mean,
Mac Jones might be working his way into a payday here.
Yeah.
This is a good showing from him since he's been there.
Did you see the clip of him when like a defensive end walked into him? He just went up to the defense and he just like shoulder shrugs him, and then he just starts laughing his ass off because he knows he has no chance against the defensive end. I was like, all right, I could get behind that. He's always kind of had that like kind of humorous side to him. I mean, I think when they won the national championship, he had a bunch of pictures taken with him just with a huge cigar, just like lounging on like couches and stuff. Like he just seems like a pretty chill dude. There was
that was as the third string quarterback because he still had Hurts and Tua in front of him.
That's right. Yeah. He
Yeah.
was like the backup,
He's rocking a stogie as the third string quarterback.
Also, I think there was a lot of talk the year that they traded up for Trey Lance that there was people in the building that wanted Mac Jones for that pick. So I don't think people like understand how much like they probably loved Mac Jones in the process. He's the perfect player for the Shanahan offense as a quarterback. Like he doesn't need like a huge arm or anything. He just wants precision and accuracy and something that's just good with timing and kind of leading a player. It's why Kirk Cousins was so good in his offense back in the day. That's why they wanted a guy like Mac Jones potentially that draft, and that's why everyone's kind of hinting towards they're going to take Mac Jones here. And I guess the last minute they kind of debated between Lance and Jones and eventually landed on Lance because of the higher upside. But yeah, this guy fits the offense perfect. He's kind of what Purdy is.
I was going to say,
but
does he fit
might
it
be
better? Does he fit it better than Purdy? That's the question for that team now.
I never really.
I feel like you have to go back to Purdy because you paid him too much money now.
Well, you have to go back to Purdy. Yeah, there's no way cost wise unless Mac does this okay, let's say Purdy's out 3 games and Mac did this every game.
I mean, that's what happened.
I don't know if he has enough time.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he did play good because he already had a couple. Yeah, I'm just saying it would have to be like a longer time period. I think it's too soon to just completely move on.
Mac Jones is 3-0 as a starter,
and Purdy's lost every game he's played,
and he's played much better than Purdy.
Yeah,
Purdy is definitely a gunslinger too, though. He's kind of one of those guys who gets going and has like a stretch of good games, and sometimes he'll have a stretch of kind of poor games. And I think he was kind of going through one of those poor game stretches. So I think they would still give him time to get back into the swing of things, especially because we've seen Mac Jones before as well. Like this isn't the first time we've seen him play well, and for spurts, he's probably one of the better backups in the league, and I still think that's where he resides. But it's still an interesting conversation because he's very similar to Purdy. This is a guy they really, I think, wanted a couple years ago and lucked out and got Purdy in that draft. They probably shouldn't even have a starting quarterback right now on either of these guys' level, but I could easily see Mac Jones by the end of the season, after another Purdy injury, playing well, and then the conversation comes, what do we do with Purdy? Because you probably get Jones for a little bit cheaper for a year, and then you trade off Purdy. That's a possibility now.
If someone trades for Purdy.
I think it's good enough to trade for.
Yeah, well, you got to pick up the contract now, too, which is not viable. I guess any team can make it work.
You got the Browns
really
out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's teams that are just thirsty for a quarterback. If he goes to the Browns, he's going to suck, though. I guess just... Purdy would not be good on the Browns. There's no way. Any other comments on Thursday Night Football?
I thought it was pretty cool. Kendrick Bourne had that huge game. He's got familiarity with Jones. They were together at New England, so I thought that was pretty cool. He balled out. The other note I had on this game was Puka is the first receiver in history with more than 50 catches in his first 5 games.
That's insane.
I wonder.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if he's averaging 10 catches a game, I wonder if they try and get him 200 receptions in a season.
He's gonna probably break the reception record no matter what, unless he gets injured.
Can he get an MVP? Could he win the MVP this year?
If he gets 2,000
yards.
If he gets 2,000,
everyone was talking about it with Tyreek Hill 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were like, if he gets 2,000, he might get it.
I
still don't know if he would have got it.
Here's the thing about that. I still think there is some bias in these awards, and I think Tyreek Hill is too much of a shitbag to be someone that gets MVP. That's why I go to Puka, who's like, everyone loves Puka. Mm-hmm. He's got the hype. He's, from most things I hear, he's a really good fucking dude. There's a lot of narrative to play up with him, especially he wasn't even a top draft pick. He was like a 5th rounder. There's a lot of narrative stuff that the league could really play off of. Like, hey, this is the guy that became the first non-quarterback MVP since Adrian Peterson, and he basically was a no-name. And look at him. Like, I think it'd be kind of cool. But I think 2,000 yards, it's definitely a question, especially if you're going to be like, let's just say something ridiculous. 147 catches, 2,000 yards. He might not go double-digit touchdowns, but you even have to at that point?
No, I don't think so.
But I mean, I think he was on pace before that game. He was on pace for like 1980 or something yards. So I mean, we'd only have to pick it up a little bit to hit 2K and stay healthy, and if Stafford stay healthy, all that kind of stuff. But there was a stat out there that the two highest reception yards in a season were Calvin Johnson and Cooper Kupp. And Stafford was the quarterback for both those guys. And now he's the quarterback for Puka, who might fucking break their record. It'd be then Stafford would be responsible for the number 1, number 2, and number 3 yardage total for receivers in the NFL, which is just insane.
I don't think people realize how good Matthew Stafford's been pretty much his whole career. Like, I hate my team because the Lions sucked so bad that we basically wasted about 12 years of this man's career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are starting to see it now that he's got more hype. And while that is a receiver stat, that is 100% a Matthew Stafford thing. He's also, I think I mentioned it earlier this year, he locks on his number 1 target better than anybody. And I think he might be the best player in the history of the league at getting the ball from one point to another point, pinpoint accuracy. Like, if you just need to throw right there, then and there. And I think that's why he's so good with some of these elite guys, because he can fit balls in areas that most other humans can't. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. And he does it routinely, and him and Puka are like the perfect combination. He's going to...
Yeah.
He might do it again.
Well, fuck, Stafford might get MVP this year too then if all that shit plays out.
Well, if their team keeps doing what they did in this game, no.
Thursday night.
Well,
Or against the Eagles, no, because his team keeps losing games they shouldn't lose.
Yeah, I mean, you
That
got to be a
hurts him.
playoff team to win MVP.
That's true.
This is kind of just the consensus of everything. But yeah, we'll jump into another matchup. So we had Houston. They just throttled the Ravens. The Ravens, man, they just look like dog shit so far this year. Henry's doing nothing but fumbling. Everyone on their defense is hurt. Lamar's missing time now. They're facing a real uphill battle. We kind of talked about this during the MVP talk earlier, but if they drop more with Lamar out, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. They seriously might just miss the playoffs. Like, the AFC is looking not that great this year, in all honesty. Seems like the NFC is the more dominant division so far, in my opinion. But the Ravens' defense being so bad, Joe Burrow being hurt. I mean, the Chargers looked really good for a while, but they kind of fell off. You always got the Chiefs, so there's that. The Bills, I mean, they lost. We'll get into that later, but they stacked up wins against some crappy teams, and they barely even beat those teams, to be perfectly honest. So, I don't know. It seems like the NFC's got a lot of good teams, and the AFC's got dynasty teams that aren't looking like a dynasty right now.
They have a lot of teams that are banged up right now, too. I mean, obviously, the Ravens being the poster child of this. I mean, I can't even remember how many players on defense. It was like 7 or 8 that are like starters aren't playing right now. Like, their defense is just destroyed.
Jair's still playing.
Jair?
Yeah.
Didn't he get like
The one
into
guy was
trouble?
healthy.
He got something happened with him in the game too. I don't remember what it was. Like he like mouthed off at something and got himself like either chewed out or in a fight with another player.
He's pretty cocky, so
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I mean, it is strange. But I think a lot of those teams are struggling because of injuries. But I think you might be right. Like we again, I'm going to say the Lions the best team in the division or the NFL, and obviously the Packers beat us. I mean, I hate on the Packers quite a bit, but they've looked really good for most of their games. I mean, right now Dak has been playing out of his mind the last couple of weeks.
Dak looked fantastic.
So
yeah.
I'm
Maybe
going to
he'll
give
be
the
MVP.
Packers.
I don't know.
If they get the
Playing
playoffs,
crazy.
they will, because like
Yeah.
that team doesn't deserve to go to the playoffs. That would be him carrying them, because he's literally
Correct.
just carrying them
Yeah.
right now. Like I
Without
watched,
CD.
that
Without
was
CD.
nuts. I mean, he's got hardly anything around him, and he is playing on his mind. So I'll give the Packers a little bit of a break for losing to him because
We didn't lose to him.
tied to him. It's a loss to me. That's all that matters. That is 100% a loss in the division. But yes, he's good. It's true.
Tie is not a loss, Jim.
It's a loss in the division because what does it matter? To me, it's a loss. I'm up a seed. It doesn't matter. So it affects you the same way. But yeah, Eagles, if they get things back together, I mean, they just won the Super Bowl last year. They got to be up
But
there.
no. But yeah, I mean, if I'm talking real, like, yeah, Lions look like probably the best team in the NFL right now. I'll give you that in real talk. Yeah, Eagles have been winning, but weird. But they won the Super Bowl last year, so you got to give them the grace period of it's
In
the
a
first
dominant
4 weeks.
Super Bowl win, too. This
I
was
mean,
this is one of
yeah.
the most dominant performances we've seen in
Yeah.
a Super Bowl in a while.
Well, that's the thing. Like in that Super Bowl, like their defense, who was mostly the same, was just fucking just killing the Chiefs O-line and Mahomes, and they haven't done that really at all this year, which is strange. I mean, week 1 I get it because
Jalen Carter
Jalen Carter got ejected before the game starts. Like, well, yeah, you lose your guard, and you know your pass rushing guard, and it's going to be harder. But he's been in the rest of the games and fairly quiet.
I thought they lost some starters on their defense.
They might have
though.
lost a
I
couple.
feel like that was something that I read around in the
I think
offseason.
didn't they lose a couple of guys on the line?
They probably lost some guys on the line,
The
didn't they?
O-line?
D-line.
D-line, okay.
I felt like they lost like a corner and maybe a safety or something too, like
They
starters. I think
Yeah,
I know that their defense.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson left.
might
Darius Slay left.
Darius Slay, yeah,
He went to
but-
Pittsburgh, other side, the other team in Pennsylvania.
But yeah, they did lose some starters, and maybe that's a bigger loss than expected. I think a lot of people just thought Jalen Carter was just going to keep ascending, and maybe he was just going to take over and be even more dominant. Maybe that does eventually happen, and that's change their fortune. But
But I'd still say they're
Still a
good.
top team.
You can't say they're
Yeah,
bad.
they're they still until otherwise.
Bucks.
I mean, I'll get to some of these
NFC.
teams, but yeah, Tampa Bay looks great. Seattle's looked really fucking good.
Seattle has a defense.
DVOA.
The Rams look good. The Packers have looked good despite 2 losses, which are questionable, but the Vikings have looked pretty good.
DVOA has
There's
Seahawks
been a
as
lot
the
of
number
good-
2 team in the NFL right now. So that's that
Do they really?
stat where it's like they basically break down every drive to a percentage instead of like, okay, this team got 400 yards off of 10 plays. It's different than 400 yards off of 50 plays. So that's how more advanced than that, but that's what they do.
They're
Seahawks are number 2.
They're like the Vikings this year with the same quarterback. They've got a good
They
defense.
might be more talented than the Vikings were last year, though.
They've got a good defense. They've got good running backs. Darnold's not making mistakes.
Jackson Smith, the
Yeah.
Jigba,
Yeah.
looks really good.
He's
Yeah.
not Justin Jefferson, but he's fucking good.
I mean, this year he's been just as good as Justin Jefferson. He's been incredible. They have kind of like a poor man's version. I don't want to say poor man's. That's not fair. They have like a knockoff brand. Is that even better? I don't know. Of the Lions, Gibbs, and Montgomery with Walker and Charbonnet. I wish they'd give Walker more touches. I still feel like he's the better player. Obviously, I'm a little biased because of fantasy, but still
You got them both.
Yeah, you got them both. So what are you bitching about?
I want one to be useful. Not now I don't have anyone worth playing. But yeah, I mean those 2 really good running backs. I think Walker's a top 10 back. You got Charbonnet who's top 40. He's like a borderline starter. They have a lot of talent there. Good offensive line. Defense is playing great.
They looked good.
Their coach is disciple from the Ravens. He was a defense corner over there a couple years ago, and he was someone that everyone in the league wanted that year for head coach. I don't remember his name, but very good scheme, system, and since he's left, the Ravens haven't been as good on defense. So that guy might have been kind of the brainchild behind that, and he has much more talent right now, I think, in Seattle. So I really like them, too. So, yeah, I would agree. I think the top teams right now this year have been all in the NFC.
Yeah. And even the 49ers beat the fucking shit, and they still look okay. And then there's the Rams. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good teams in the NFC. AFC, I don't see it.
AFC is
As
very
much,
top-heavy and bottom.
But even the top
yeah.
has looked weak. The Chiefs haven't looked good. The Ravens haven't looked good. The Bills haven't looked that. I don't think the Bills have looked that good.
And teams that you're not really sure about, Colts, Jags, are 4-1.
Yeah.
So it's are those legit?
The Colts, I might believe. The Jags, I just can't believe it. We'll get into that match later, but let's get into another matchup first, real quick. What do you think?
I was just going to say, why don't you just talk about it now? You're already on them.
Jackie, this is our show. Don't be telling us how to run this thing.
All
You've
right.
been in here for 10 minutes.
I go in the order of the games.
All right.
Wow. Jim doesn't like change.
Stick to the schedule.
Maybe kind of,
We were very strict with our schedule.
yeah, that's why we always,
Never veer
Yeah,
off.
that's
I always
why
get
it
these
never
things done
goes off
perfectly on
tangent.
time.
Yep.
We never take 3 hours to do it.
I never say, how the fuck do we start talking about this? Let's get on to the next subject.
It's always Matthew Stafford, too, every day.
Anyways,
Broncos, they end the Phillies win streak. So Philly, they decided to start throwing the ball this week. It did not end well. They rushed for a total of 45 yards and threw for 280 yards. No special teams fiascos this week to sneak out a win, so they lost. Broncos had it. This is a fun game to watch. I mean, I was rooting against Philly the whole time. I feel like I'm always going to root against I'll always root for the underdog in games that don't matter that much to me.
Are you a believer?
A believer? He's on one of my fantasy teams, so yeah. He's on
I think
my
this guy's a
fantasy team
believer, right?
Yeah.
Guillotine League.
He's a believer.
Yeah, it's why I made sure I grabbed Cortland Sutton in both of my leagues this year. I'm a believer.
I do believe in Cortland Sutton. That guy's.
He seemed to do pretty well.
He's one of those guys, he's not going to be flashy. He's probably not going to put up like a 30-point game, but he'll probably give me 12 to 16 pretty much every single week.
Yeah.
And that's really all you need out of a second or third wide receiver, third guy. So
I mean, that's perfect for that spot in your roster, yeah.
Even though he's been in the league forever, which is kind of funny, but do you guys remember Kenny Galladay? He reminds me a lot
Yeah.
of Kenny Galladay when
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay was actually still good. I don't know what happened to him, why he just fell off a cliff, but like they're not going to beat you, like you said. He's just not going to beat you over the top. He's not going to outrun you. He's not even like an exceptional route runner, so he's not going to just like juke you. He's just like, it's a 50-50 ball. He's going to win it every time.
Yeah.
That's what Kenny Galladay did. Kenny Galladay couldn't separate. I think he had like 2 straight years of being like bottom 4 in the league in separation statistics because he couldn't. Cortland Sutton is probably low on that too.
James Jones.
He's
Yeah.
like one of those two. Yeah.
James Jones.
But like James Jones catches everything. Cortland Sutton catches everything. The other thing about Cortland that James Jones couldn't do, and why James Jones wasn't a starter, more of like a kind of a slot guy, is because Cortland can go over the top of you still and catch, and that's what he's great at. Yeah, love watching Cortland play. He had a good game here too, didn't he? Have like 90 yards or something,
99.
Yeah, and a touchdown, I think.
and like a couple
Just missed
catches.
100.
Yeah,
I mean, my main takeaway is just Philly. Like, dude, I get it. Like, you want to get the pass going because it's been non-existent for the first, 4 weeks of the season. But you just like completely went for it this week and just abandon trying to run the ball at all. I don't even know if they pushed in this game to get that extra couple of yards. Like 45 yards. Like that's.
they probably weren't in positions to get him.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley.
I mean, that's their thing.
They were up.
Why was Saquon?
They were up by like 17 points in the second half. Like, why are you not just running the ball now? Like, run the ball, win the game. Maybe Philly's just like, whatever. We're 4-0. Let's get this pass game unleashed. We got to keep A.J. Brown happy. We got to keep Devontae Smith happy. Otherwise, we're going to have problems in the future. So we'll just have a game where we throw the ball a lot. And if we lose, we
Makes
lose.
sense.
But we do need to get this part of our offense clicking because we're going to need it sooner or later. 4-1. You're still tied for first in the NFC. You can't really.
Barkley had like what, 6 carries? Well, how in the world does Barkley
I know.
have like 6 carries and he's healthy?
That's why I almost think it's like. I mean, the Patriots did this back in the day too. Like, they knew they were winning their division. Granted, Philly has a little more competition in their division than the Patriots did back in the day. But a lot of times, I felt like the Patriots during their dynasty are just like the first 8 weeks of the season of practice. Like, we know we're going to the playoffs. Like, let's just get everything working well. So when we get to the playoffs, we can do everything well. Not worry so much about a win and a loss in week 5. Who the fuck cares? We'll go to the playoffs. We'll be a number 1 or number 2 seed. We'll roll from there. It doesn't matter that much.
It's easier to say though if you win the game or play against like maybe a lesser opponent, but like this is a good Broncos team, and it's like the way to beat the Broncos is typically on the ground. They have a good defense, but the way to attack them is on the running game, and like the Eagles just didn't.
Maybe that's why they wanted to throw the ball. They're like, let's try to throw the ball against a good pass defense so we can try to get this clicking and get it going. I mean, it wasn't a bad passing game. 280 yards isn't bad.
No, they almost won it, so it's not like we're acting like they look terrible. But this is a good Broncos team. But yeah, it's strange. It was a really.
That's what I feel
game.
like. I'm like, you could have. I feel like they could have won it because they had a good lead going into the second half, and they just they kept throwing the ball, and it's like, dude, just run the ball and run the clock. Like, you're up by so much, you don't need to be throwing the ball anymore. But they just kept doing it, and they kind of just like, the clock keeps stopping, and now you're giving the Broncos more time to come back, and that's what they did.
Maybe that seems kind of logical now that you say it. Like, I would never think about going in a game that way, but maybe they got the lead and like they needed to just get things figured out, and they're like, hey, let's pass a little more. Maybe it wasn't trying to intentionally lose the game or anything, like they're still trying to win, but like, maybe it does change your play calling a little bit. Like, hey, this isn't quite working yet this season. We need to get this, going. We really need to get A.J. Brown going, and let's take this opportunity just to pass, and this happens, but. That's scary that a coach could do that, and it's logical.
I mean, definitely feel like the Patriots used to do it. Like, they would just lose a random game in the season. It's like, what are you guys doing? But it's like, I guess you don't really care.
Well,
You were the best team in the NFL for quite a long time, and there's always, like, a couple contenders. But it's like, if we're not playing them, then does this game really matter that much?
they
Especially
also
if it's
were
like
one
a
of the
different,
teams.
if it's a different conference. It's like, whatever. If the Broncos get a win, that's not going to affect our standings by giving them the win. It's not an NFC team, so you can afford it a little bit more. It's still a loss on your record, but now I guess nowadays NFL matters more too, because only one team gets a bye, so you do kind of really want that number one spot, and every game does kind of count more than it used to.
Yeah.
It used to be 2 teams would get it.
Mm-hmm. But maybe that also just as the counter is like you don't even try as hard for it. You just try to make the playoffs now because you're like,
True.
It's only one spot. Why risk injury or something? You know, why don't you just...
And more teams get in now too, so it's
Yeah.
like all you gotta do is get there. It's
And some
easier
guys
to
don't
get there.
some coaches don't like buys for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's fair too.
So maybe there's a coach that's literally like, I don't even want to get the one seed. I could see it, you know, especially if like they had a late buy and they don't really need it and they just want to just keep playing.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Any other thoughts on Phillies? Philadelphia Eagles.
Philly fanatic.
Philly fanatic.
How's Saquon
He was
working
probably
over there? You been liking that pick this year?
I mean, he's not as great as he was prior years, but he's still putting up points.
I'll trade you right now
Not
for
as-
Chuba Hubbard
No.
Chubba Hubba.
and a
Chuba
4th
Hubbard.
round pick.
No.
Okay. All right, let's jump into Titans Cardinals, because this was the funniest game of the week by far. Just an absolute choke job by the Cardinals. So they were up 21-6, and they're about to be up 28-6. But their running back, someone I forget his first name, but DeMarcado,
Amari DiMarcado.
Amari DeMarcado, he decided to let go of the ball right before entering the end zone to secure the touchdown. This is just a thing this year, I guess. 2 weeks in a row. We
literally had like a 5-minute conversation
I know.
on this last week.
So, dude did it again, but, so he let go. He's running forward at, 18 miles an hour. So the ball just rolls right back out the end zone. It's a touchback. And after that, things just went off the rail. Titans went on a 19-point run to secure the 1-point win. One of the touchdowns is, again, just absolute ridiculousness. But Cam Ward, he throws an interception in the red zone. But I don't know who on the Cardinals picked it off, but he picks it off, he starts running, he falls, he fumbles. Another Cardinal tries to jump on it, but he just bats it forward into the end zone, at which point a Titan player jumps on the ball, and they get a touchdown out of it. So it was the best trick play I've seen all season so far. I know the Lions like to do that crazy kind of shit, but this one was next level. You got the other team involved in this one. That's pretty hard.
It's probably the best play I've ever seen in my life. It was very humorous to see a team self-destruct and lose in that fashion when they were literally like handed the game. I've never seen anything like it. This is probably an 0-17 like type of roster too. I think the Cardinals might have just saved them from like humiliation. Like this team has been awful this year.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Gannon almost should be fired on the spot. Like, how do you lose a game like this? I mean, I understand the first fumble is the running back, but like they didn't have much time and they came back and they weren't doing anything. I didn't watch the end of the game other than just the highlights of it, but whew.
Did you see Gannon just screaming his ever-living head off at DeMarcado?
Yeah.
After that, oh my God.
Yeah, he like smacked him in the chest.
Yeah.
you know?
DeMarcado, and he's a smaller guy. He's got like a big lineman. Like, it's all right.
Consoling him, yeah. And the coach
The dude's
just,
like a foot taller than him, and then the coach just runs up and just like fucking punches him in the chest. Just screaming. He's like, what the fuck, dude?
Probably because he's like, you just got me fucking fired.
I mean, that is probably part of it.
He just got put at least on hot seat now. Like, you can't lose that game and now lose 2 more games in a row.
Yeah.
Like, he's already the Cardinals have been kind of one of those teams that we were expecting to take a leap. They never did. So they're that team. It's like, if a coach doesn't perform right away, you're going on to the next one. This could be the start of his. And I think he's been an okay coach, but yeah.
Is this
he could be pissed for him.
DeMarcado's first NFL game?
no.
Or is
No,
it-
he's been on the
he's been
team
around
for
a few years.
3 years or so, but he's never the starter.
This is just something that players do all the time, though. This is not an experience. People they think, like, oh, I'm almost in the end zone, and they just let the ball go.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, when I saw the replay, it looked to me like he was across the end zone before he let it go, to be perfectly honest. Like, he held it out like this, or like this with his left hand. And I was like looking at it like when it falls out, and I was like, it looks like he was already past the end zone.
It was
to
close.
me, like, I don't know, because I feel like when a quarterback like reaches over the pile and stuff, like, oh yeah, it gets bobbled when it crosses the plane. Was like, yeah, but it crossed the planes doesn't matter because bobbled at that point. So
only 1 millimeter, but it has to cross the line.
Yeah.
As soon as it crosses the line, anything can happen to it. There was actually a catch back in the Lions season almost like 7 years ago where Golden Tate caught a touchdown and it literally popped out of his hand, but they're like, yep, that was enough for the catch, so they counted it. I'm like, I don't think that was a catch at all. Like, but it's like an instantaneous thing. As soon as it's like considered a catch, then it's a touchdown.
that doesn't sound right. That's not what happened to the Lions back in the day.
This is one of the few times it did go our way.
Okay. Yeah, that was a funny one. Cardinals, bad job.
That is probably the worst loss I may have ever seen. To be up that high, that many mistakes, and to lose the game in that fashion, like that's
No.
got to be like Leon Lett level of
No,
stuff.
I mean, what about Tom Brady came back from 28-3 against the Falcons in the Super Bowl? That's the worst loss.
That's against
anyone will
Tom
ever see.
Brady, though.
I don't care. That's
like,
a Super Bowl, and you're up by even more points.
I don't know. The way to like it's so. I'm talking about how unbelievably bad you have to be to lose. Like losing to Tom Brady, the GOAT, because you had a huge lead and he just happened to come back. That's different. The odds of this stuff all happening at the same time to lose a game is.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it's just absolutely insane that the Cardinals lost this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I mean, yeah, you let Cam Ward and the Titans come back to beat you, not Tom Brady and the Patriots. So it's a little bit different in that situation, sure. But one's a super. I mean, if you're talking this bad loss,
I'm not talking about level of magnitude.
painful loss. That's the Super Bowl's a bajillion times worse.
Absolutely.
To blow that kind of lead in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, other games we had this week, we had Tampa Bay. They beat Seattle. We kind of talked about this when we were talking about NFC teams, but 38-35, Tampa Bay won. These teams both just look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I really had to say
Yeah.
about that
Yeah,
one.
we're
It was a good game. It was a good show.
Two good teams,
Yeah.
great game. Tampa Bay looks legit.
How pissed is Carolina watching this game? What's their owner's name? I forget his name. He's just like that was the guy who was like pouring beers on fans like 2 years ago. I mean, that guy's got to be like throwing shit all over right now. Like
Watching Bryce Young just stink it up and Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield look like two of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Bryce had an alright game.
and
by
Caleb
the end,
Williams,
but-
they've lost out on this too. Like they might have lost out on both of these guys, Caleb Williams for Bryce Young. If Caleb Williams ends up being
No.
really good too.
Caleb Williams was a different draft.
Yeah, but it was the trade that got him the
Oh,
pick.
right. Yeah, you're right.
So
Yeah.
that was their first round pick. So literally, they lost out on potentially 3 better quarterbacks than
Yeah.
Bryce Young.
Because they could have had C.J. Stroud instead of Bryce Young. Because C.J. Stroud was the guy who broke
Yeah.
out that
You could have
season.
said that too, yeah. You
Um,
could have put C.J. Stroud as one of them.
Yeah.
That's 4.
Or Anthony Richardson.
So far. He's still
Oh my
around.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he played.
he's still on
Still
the
on the
Colts,
Yeah, he played some quarterback last week.
which I actually have notes about that game. We'll get that after.
I don't have that one in my notes. I didn't write down stuff about everything. We can get to those at the end if you want. But Patriots, they ended another undefeated streak this week. They beat the Bills, so there are no more undefeated teams left in the NFL, and it's only week 5.
72 Dolphins can crack their champagne early this year.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to happen again, to be perfectly honest.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, you got another game. They're probably going to add an 18th game. Like, it just gets harder the more games you add, right? So,
Well, I think there was a lot more disparity in the league back then, too. Like, the 72
Very
Dolphins
true.
were so much better than everyone else in the league back then.
Yeah. Well, Dan Marino was the first guy. Dan Marino still has a lot of, like, passing stats that are, like, active to this day, which is just fucking crazy. Because, like, that's not a time in the NFL where people threw the ball that much, and he kind of was trendsetter.
we're going further back than that.
Yeah, this is pre-Dan Marino.
Rand Marino never won a Super Bowl.
Oh. Yeah, but they had an undefeated season, didn't they?
Yeah, that's 72.
Yeah, 72,
Yeah.
but that wasn't Dan Marino.
Marino's
Oh. No,
drafted.
Marino had an undefeated season, didn't he?
No.
He lost in the
Pitt?
playoffs?
No.
Oh.
He was
let me see.
he went to the Super Bowl his rookie year and never got back.
Never got back.
That's
And
his
they
biggest
lost.
like story, and he like never did well in the playoffs ever
Oh.
again. He was
I swear they had an undefeated regular season.
just in 72 with
Whoever.
Costanza or something. What was that? Who's their fullback? There's There's like a famous player from that time.
Oh, Larry Zonka.
Zonka, that's it. I wanted to say Costanzo. I'm like, I know that's not right.
Larry Zonka.
Yeah, Larry Zonka. But yeah, the 72. I don't know who's even on that team other than that. That's Bob Shula, and then yeah, that's
Dan Shula.
Dan Shula. See, I'm thinking of his son or something. He's got a son in the league. It's too long ago.
But yeah, so we were talking about undefeated teams, which there aren't any of. So Patriots-Bills, this game started with a punt, a fumble, a fumble, a punt, a punt, a fumble, and a field goal. That's how this game went. It was just, I thought it was going to be a snooze fest of who's going to turn the ball over more. The Pats got the only points in the first quarter, scoring the field goal. The second quarter wasn't much better. Both teams scored one more field goal, so it was 6-3 going into halftime. Bills finally ran into a not terrible opponent, and they blew it. So we'll see how things go in the future for them. Because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll give it to the Bills. Like, part of it was this, they turned the ball over too much, but the Patriots were turning the ball right back over to them, so I can't even say that's the reason they lost.
I mean, they look like one of the best teams in the conference.
Who?
The Patriots.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they played really well.
They did
Are
play
they
very
3-2
well.
or are they 4-1? I think they're 3-2, right?
They're definitely not 4-1. They might be 3-2 though.
Drake May's playing well.
Yes.
Mike
they're
Vrabel
3-2.
is, I think, a top-tier coach. I still can't believe that the Titans are looking at A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, Mike Vrabel. We're like, yeah, we don't want this anymore. We just got rid of it. I don't understand. Mike Vrabel has been a great coach, and now I think they wanted him last year, but they gave Mayo like some like deal where like once Belichick left, he was guaranteed to be the head coach.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
Because there's no way Vrabel doesn't take a head coaching job last year, in my opinion, unless he was given some deal under the table. Like, he was probably told, take a year off, here's some money, come talk to me once you can actually sign a contract, and we'll give you an actual contract. That's what I think happened there. But, yeah, I think Vrabel's a really good coach. This team's playing really well. Drake May looks really good for his second season. I know I've been talking up Caleb Williams quite a bit, and I think he's looking pretty good too, but Drake May, I think, has looked better so far. And the best of the three, because if you add the Commanders quarterback too over there,
Jaden Daniels.
he hasn't been exceptional this year. You know, he's not looking as good as he was last year. I think May's looked the best of the three, and like I think he was kind of like the afterthought of that draft.
Jaden looked good week 1. Week 2, he didn't look that great, and then he got hurt. I think he's only played one game since, and it wasn't that great. But it's like, yeah, if you hurt your knee and you're a scrambling quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't, even especially when you factor in last season, I wouldn't take him over either of those guys. I'd still take him as the third one, May. But right now he's playing really well.
Yeah.
This was the Stephon Diggs revenge game.
It didn't kind of seem like that.
He
had a lot of production.
What happened between those two? Like, he absolutely despises him too. Allen, like, Diggs hates Allen.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I don't know.
Because I mean,
think
Allen
that's
was
just who Diggs is as a person.
Yeah, I don't think Diggs is a good
He did
guy.
the same thing against the Vikings or the Vikings trade. I mean, he just like hated everyone
Yeah.
after that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he seems like.
Well, it seems like Diggs is never satisfied with the amount of targets he gets, and it's like, dude, you're like top 3 in the NFL in targets per game. Like, what more do you want? He wants more. I feel like he always wants more.
Yeah, you know, he's the quintessential diva receiver.
Yeah.
Like he thinks he's always right. He's an alpha. He's just that's how he works. I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's probably why I wanted to go to the Patriots, because they didn't have anybody like that. Like, you went to the Texans for 1 year, but Nico Collins was clearly the number 1 there. So he's probably like, I don't want to be here anymore if I'm not the number 1 guy. Maybe you just can't live with that. You got to live with the fact that you're older and you're not going to be the number 1 anymore.
I mean, that's probably the only reason, if that's how he thinks, that's probably one of the few teams that could have even brought him in then, because like he's starting to lose it. He's not quite the player he was, 3 years ago.
No.
It was like he's a borderline like number 1 receiver. But yeah, that might be it. He does seem to have an ego, and he always wears out his welcome. We'll see what happens at the end of this season. This is probably a couple good games, and then he's probably gonna go AWOL.
Same thing might happen, yeah. If what's the other guy, Booty?
Keyshawn Booty.
Booty's been looking okay.
Booty.
Yeah, if he starts getting more targets than Diggs does, that might piss Diggs right the fuck off and fuck up their team. We'll see.
I think New England's going to be looking for a number 1 receiver, though, in the draft next year.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, Yeah, they need one. They
Yeah.
need something to pair with. Mayday doesn't have a lot around him. They
No.
need to start building up the offense. Like, you
Yeah.
figured out, okay, I mean, obviously there's still more to the season, but right now I think you got to feel pretty confident with May. So now it's like, okay, how do we take this offense to the next step? Yeah, receiver, elite weapons. That's the next thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, step one, see if you got a good quarterback, which seems like they do. And then, yeah, number two, get some talent around him. And, yeah, last match I had was, I was writing this up during the game, so I didn't really put much over it, but the Jags beat the Chiefs. Jags advanced to 4-1, Chiefs fall to 2-3. So my first bold prediction, dynasty over. We all on board now?
Not yet. I think
I
it's
mean, it's
still
not
early.
1-4 like the Ravens, but I mean, they lost to the Jags.
I would say this is worse than the Ravens start. The
The
Ravens,
Ravens
I
have an
think,
excuse.
have played against better teams. They have way more injuries.
Yeah.
Like the Ravens had a brutal start to their schedule. We just talked
Didn't
about
the
the
Chiefs
Bills
beat
and the
the
Lions.
Ravens?
Yeah.
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 Everyone beats the Ravens.
So
That's like the Chiefs' signature win right now. Is we
It
beat
is.
the Ravens. It's like, wow, you beat a 1-4
they were
team.
still healthy.
I mean, that was the game where they. No, I think they were already down like 7 defensive starters.
Well, they were
lost
starting
Lamar
to
in
get
that game,
unhealthy.
but yeah,
Oh, that was a yeah, never mind.
I mean, their defense was already trashed here
So
at that
yeah,
point.
I guess they do have an asterisk kind of next to that one too. Yeah, I mean,
But that was the only team the Chiefs. That was the only game where the Chiefs' offense has looked like good this whole season was against the Ravens.
yeah, I mean, he didn't look that great against the Jags. I didn't get to watch this game. I was already like laying down sleeping. But I saw the pick that he threw to Lloyd. That was like the 99-yard
9-yard
interception.
touchdown.
Like Lloyd just was there.
Yeah,
Like Mahomes. Well, we saw his first couple years. I mean, there was no question that was the best start to a career we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think the Chiefs are like, okay, we have the best quarterback maybe of all time. We don't need to maybe we can. I think right now they're in a retooling. To be fair, I do think they expect to make playoffs, but I think this is the year where it's like, okay, we know that they're going to start falling off. But Mahomes has struggled the last couple of years.
oh yeah,
And it's been
not look
situational. They've had a lot of injuries and a lot of like influx with their offense, but I mean, there's quarterbacks that are doing more with the same amount he has, if not
what I'm
even a little
saying.
bit less. And yeah, you might be right. I mean, they play the Lions this week.
I mean, I'm getting sick of sports media still talking like Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, hands down. That's that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't see. I just haven't
I
seen
haven't
it in
thought
such a
it for
long time. I
3
just haven't seen it in
years?
such a long time. It's like, yeah, he wins the Super Bowl so often. And I guess we probably said the same shit about Brady back in the day, so maybe I'm just talking out of my ass.
But he was
compared to like
struggling last year.
Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson specifically, like those guys have looked so much better for the last 3 years now.
Yeah.
Chiefs team is better than their teams are. But I don't think Mahomes has been the best quarterback since his second year in the NFL. That was really his last like great hurrah. Basically since Tyreek Hill left. Like
It's been since Tyreek Hill. He had
Yeah.
like 3 years with Tyreek, and he was
Yeah.
really good for those 3 years. But yeah, Tyreek Hill left, and now Kelsey keeps getting another year older. I think Kelsey's finally now the age has caught up to him, where he's just not the player he was even last year. Like he's a shell of himself. Like they're even cutting back on his snaps a lot. So there's that too. I mean, he has lost his weapons, but again, like there's other players who don't even have Rashee Rice. I mean, obviously he hasn't had him for a while,
yeah, he hasn't played yet this year.
but he wasn't even like lighting up the league with Rashee Rice last year. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Rashee Rice had a good start to the season, but it wasn't like through Mahomes. I mean, it wasn't because of Mahomes. Like he was individually being good, and Mahomes still was kind of lackluster. It's. I think you might be onto something. The dynasty. I mean, we'll say this. I think at this point the dynasty looks over. It doesn't mean they can't start it back up.
I mean, my caveat was it's over for now.
And I
The
think that's
Patriots
a-
had that same lull for a little while. Brady came out, looked fantastic for like 6-7 years, and they kind of had like a 3-year little lull there, and then they picked it back up once they started like not winning the Super Bowl everywhere and got some shit back together, and
Yep.
then they kind of put it back together and started doing stuff. And they were the same way. I mean, they never had star receiver. I mean, I guess early on they had Randy Moss.
But even Randy
And they had
Moss
Gronk, too.
was
I don't
in
know.
the middle. He wasn't even in the
Yeah.
beginning. He was because remember
Yeah.
that was an undefeated season, and they didn't win that year. Well, Moss never won one with them. He had 3 rings already before that. And with those, it was Deion Branch, and it was whoever else they could find. I don't think there was no Gronk either. I mean, the original offenses
No, Gronk's in
were
the second half version. Yeah.
the original offenses were very void of like elite talent.
Yeah.
It was kind of like similar to what the Packers have right now. Like just a bunch of number 2 receivers. That was what they did.
But if you're going to be an elite quarterback, you make it work with those guys. Like that's kind of what they pay. They pay you more to be quarterback, so you can piece together some not as highly paid wide receivers. It's the nature of the game, or it was back then. Now everyone quarterback gets paid buku bucks, regardless if you're good or not. Tua's a top 3 paid quarterback in the NFL, and he has Tyreek Hill, and he still sucks. Well, he did. He doesn't anymore.
Had Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill doesn't have Tyreek Hill anymore.
Yeah.
Just looked at the Chiefs, their remaining schedule the rest of the season. Lions, Raiders,
That's rough.
Commanders, Bills. Then they have their bye week, week 10. Then it's Broncos, Colts, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. Like, there's probably only 3 for sure wins in there, with Raiders twice and the Titans. But the rest
I
of
don't think
those are
they're-
probably toss-ups.
I would not give them a guaranteed win against the Raiders. Those are division games. Division games are always ugly.
The Raiders are real bad,
Raiders
though.
look so terrible.
I still don't care. Division games, it doesn't matter.
If the Chiefs
Bad
are playing at
teams
home,
in
they're probably
divisions-
favored by like 14 points.
The Chiefs struggle against the Raiders, then yeah,
Then the
I would say
dynasty's
this
over.
dynasty's over.
Yeah. If they beat them by like 18-17 or some bullshit like that, I'd be like, all right.
I think the game
Chiefs
could be
are done.
really ugly, close enough, and then you still have players like GNT. You still have who's their tight end? I think it's their
Brock
name.
Bowers, but I think
There's guys that could
right
make
now,
those
too.
game-winning plays though. Like
True.
they just have to have an ugly, close game, and then it's just like
And they
one
have
of those
Crosby on the
guys
defense
and
that might
Crosby.
just, like,
they
blow up
have
Mahomes a
they
couple
can pull a
times.
game off on them,
Yeah,
and
that's not a bad call.
I mean, you just mentioned the Lions, Commanders,
The
and
Lions
the
are probably
Bills.
favored by several points. Where are they playing? Are they playing at? Do you know if they're playing Kansas City or in Detroit?
It looked like
Do you
it
know?
was
You think I
Kansas
would
City.
know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not in Detroit.
I think it's Kansas City.
I bet you the Lions are still favored by like
It's the
3.5.
It's the Sunday night game.
I feel like it was in Detroit here more.
Yeah, it's at Arrowhead.
Because like normally the fans are always.
That's a home Arrowhead game, and I bet you the Lions are favored by like 3.5 points.
I would say probably more. I'd say 4.
2.5.
Wow.
2.5.
Wait, Kansas City's
There's no way Kansas City's favored.
minus 2.5. Kansas City.
Wow.
Holy shit!
That's got to be just.
The disrespect to the
No,
Lions.
I think that's they just know people bet on the Chiefs and they're able to make money.
Place your
off
bet
it.
right now. You can make some money off that motherfucker.
Can we even? It's Wisconsin. Can we even do that?
Yeah, legally you can somehow. talk
Yeah,
about it
you
off
have
the
to.
air.
You have to either go to Oneida or Potawatomi, but you can.
Yeah.
I think it has to be at a casino.
Yeah.
Babe, I'm putting all the money from the house on the line.
Sure thing.
Take out a nice HELOC. put it all on the
Just think
cheap.
of
If they
That's how
lose,
we
I will
will
not
buy.
come back.
Putting it all on the Lions, straight up.
And then Goff gets hurt in the first place. I'm getting divorced.
And
It
I'm
was a good
homeless.
run. I'm already homeless. That's okay.
But yeah, that's all the matchups I had for the week. Jags Chiefs though. I mean, there's a couple of funny plays in this one. Trevor Lawrence, the second time they get to the red zone, they're on the 1 yard line. He tries to do the jump over the pile and reach the ball. Someone just slaps it out of his hands for a fumble on the 1. But then he totally makes up for it at the end of the game where, I don't know, the center walks up and steps on his foot and Trevor Lawrence just falls on the snap. Again on the 1 yard line. Everyone thinks, that's so shitty because there was like 20 seconds left in the game. So I was like, dude, if you fall, now you have to burn your timeout and you don't have enough time to really do what you want to do in the red zone. But then he just gets back up, or almost gets back up, falls again, gets back up a second time. Still no one's on him for some reason from the Chiefs. And he just runs to the outside and scores a touchdown. Strangest. Just another one of the crazy plays of the week.
It was nice to
Very
see one
funny.
go against the Chiefs for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely the team that always wins off of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
When they're especially last year, doesn't matter. Weird stuff would happen, and they would always win. So maybe that's our part of it too. The dynasty kind of was kept alive from luck. Now it's like luck giveth, luck taketh away.
Yeah. I mean, there's those stats where it's like, you won 10 games by 1 score or less.
Mhm.
Last year, it's like, you're going to pull that off every year, or next year you're going to lose 10 games by 1 score or less.
Yep.
Like, it's kind of, the odds tend to balance out in those kinds of things. If you're blowing teams out, you're blowing teams out. There's no chance for them to come back. But 1 score games are kind of, you got lucky and you had the ball last, is a lot of times what it comes down to. Just the clock happened to run in your favor. To some extent. I mean, there is clock management and all that stuff the teams do, but
Everything regresses towards the mean eventually. Yeah, it was a good game, though. It was fun.
it was a fun Monday nighter. All the primetime games this week were very good.
Fun
NFL
fact.
did a good job on their prime times.
I guess I don't know if it's technically factual. It's factual from this company standpoint, but I always talk about the grading sites, and the one that we always talk about, PFF, which is take it or leave it, whether you like it. No one that listens probably even really cares anyway, but they had Travis Hunter rated as the number 2 player on offense for the Jaguars in this game, and the number 2 rated defensive player at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I think that's really cool because we never seen anything like this before. I know we were kind of talking about him in previous weeks, saying like, can he do this? I mean, the guy did it in college. He was a lead at both of them. I can't wait. He seems like a good dude too, so I'm like really cheering for him. But I want this to work. I want him
agree.
to play like as many snaps as possible on both, and just see him just like tear up the league. Because the other thing too, I can see why you might not just focus on one side or the other, because the dude's electric with the ball in his hand. Like, if he can play enough snaps on offense, it doesn't matter. Like, he catches the ball and he instantly makes 2 or 3 people miss. I don't know how much you guys have watched him, but like, it is like one of the most elusive players I've seen. It kind of reminds me of Harvey, that guy from Paris, Percy Harvey.
Yes. Percy
Remember how
Harvin.
like just Harvey? Remember how he was just so just in a phone booth, like almost like the Barry Sanders. It's just like
early
awesome.
Tyler Lockett too.
Tyler Lockett. It's just those guys that have that extra shiftiness to him. He has that.
Debo's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Debo's big though and can kind of do it, but he's not.
Yeah.
This is like, this guy's like trying to grab. Like, this might be like a Barry Sanders type thing eventually. Like, this guy, when he gets the ball, like, there's not many players in the league that can make someone miss in the tight quarters like he can.
His one big yardage, he had like one 40-yard catch in this game where he was pretty much playing like a cornerback because the ball's a little bit overthrown. He kind of just reaches over the dude's head and snatches it. I'm like, damn. That's why it's good to be the cornerback that can play wide receiver too.
I wonder if that would be harder for receivers than him because, like you said,
I was
like
saying,
he's
yeah.
used to being in that weird position because it was a real awkward catch and he made it over 2 guys. But that's the other thing too. He's only like 6'1" and he was like over the top, incredibly athletic. It's gonna be a fun season to see what he does.
He's fun to watch.
The game's more fun with a player like him, and he also might be someone that. I mean, again, it's really hard to be elite at 2 positions at once because it's already hard enough to be elite at 1 position.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't necessarily have to be elite at both, but he was in college. But there's going to be other players now, if he's successful, that get to do this, and this will start becoming a normal thing in the league.
Guys all want to do it, and they're gonna.
We haven't seen that kind of stuff since like the 30s, where players play both sides. So it's cool. It's something to watch, and it's something that makes the season more fun.
That's all I had for NFL. I know there were other games, but I didn't write any of them down. A lot of them were blowouts, not as fun.
I feel like
Let's go down the fun ones.
I feel like I have to talk about my weekly Colts because
Okay.
God,
Your weekly Colts.
What
Are you
did,
taking
I'm like, dude, I am cheering hard for
What did Indiana Jones this week against the Raiders?
2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. Handed the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. Although Taylor actually snapped his 9-game streak with 95+ yards.
I mean, my fantasy team didn't really notice. I like the touchdowns, 3 of them. Give me the hat trick.
Does anybody else stand a chance for comeback player of the year right now?
Who's the comeback player of the year?
Indianapolis Jones.
He wasn't good. Where's he coming back from?
Been awful.
You can't come back from
He's one of the
being
best
shit.
quarterbacks in the league.
Did Sam Darnold get it? Who
Did
got
he?
it last year?
I don't know who got it last year.
Well, look it up. If Sam Darnold gets it, then maybe.
No, Joe Burrow got it last year because he was hurt the year before.
Oh yeah, he's probably gonna get it next year too.
Damn, Joe Burrow, you're ruining the awards.
Every other year he's gonna get comeback player of the
Joe
year.
Burrow gets it every other year. So you got to be on the off. Yeah, so he could get it this year because Joe Burrow's hurt, so Joe Burrow can't win it this year.
I really like Steichen. Is that it? Steichen?
Shane Steichen.
Steichen. I can never remember how it's pronounced, but I mean, they look very good from top to bottom. Their roster is good. It's not just Indiana Jones coming and just everything's clicking. This has just been a good team that's also been plagued by horrible quarterback play. I'm not talking about horrible quarterback play just like as normal horrible quarterback play. We're talking about Anthony Richardson, who you guys saw.
He's probably
2 years or a year ago. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Where he just literally was throwing like arm punts, but they weren't even near anybody.
No.
So
He's probably been the worst. I would say top 3 pick since Jamarcus Russell.
as how bad he was on the field, yes. And Jamarcus Russell literally didn't even try. Like, he made his money, and like he knew he was just going to drink lean for the rest of his life and just let the money just, he got the contract, right? He didn't have to play for it. So Anthony Richardson tried, and he was that bad. So I think this team was very handicapped, is what I'm trying to say. They probably always had a really good team, and they're just some of the worst quarterback play we've ever seen. And now you just add average to slightly above average quarterback play. I mean, let's be real, he's been better than that. But yeah, they're looking really good. They might be the best team in their conference right now. Who wants to play them?
So far, it looks like they are,
Yeah.
I would not be confident right now if the Lions played them. Like, it's not like some team where you're just like, oh, they're just 4-1 because they played bad opponents. They look like a legitimate contender right now. They are very good, top to bottom.
I did have a couple of cool notes on this game. Amir Abdullah got a touchdown in this game. The only points scored for the Raiders.
He's still in the league?
Yes, he is.
I was so
Late
pumped when we drafted.
in the game, the Raiders punter got hurt, so Daniel Carlson came in, kicked a 30-yard punt for them. And Geno threw 2 more picks, which gives his touchdown to interception ratio 6-9 this year.
9 picks
So-
in 5 games.
Yes. 6
Almost 2 a
touchdowns,
game.
9 interceptions in 5 games.
And it wasn't like it was just like 1 4-pick game, and then like
No.
it's like been steady every game, hasn't it? Has he thrown a pick every game?
He had 3 against.
I think it was 3-3-2 in the last couple, so that's
I think he is
8. So we only
So
had
he's
one
got
in the
more
first
games.
couple.
So he probably has
games.
1 game with 0, 1 game with 1. And
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. That's just 2 3-pick games already in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's been pretty good the last couple years. Like, I
He was
like
good in
that.
Seattle.
He was good
last
in
year.
yeah, he was good in Seattle, but he does not look so good.
I mean-
He just I don't know. I've seen a couple of Raiders games now, and he's just launching the football like it's 3 guys out there. Fuck it.
And then you have Bowers this
Like,
game.
he looks like peak Favre almost during his touchdown to interception days.
Yeah, it's got to get back to the Jameis Winston.
Favre at least had
30.
like more touchdowns than interceptions,
True.
at least by 1 or 2.
I mean, yeah, I would have put him in the same category as I like the Jameis Winston, the 30 for 30, season. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, 5,000 yards. We'll probably never see anything like that again.
No.
We might see it this year. I mean, Jackson Dart looked like shit this last week. Just put in Jameis, I say.
I guess the
Why not?
Browns are.
I don't think they're going to go away from Dart for a while. I think they're going to give him.
They said the
give him a
Bengals
bit.
didn't even call the Giants. The Bengals could have had
Yeah,
it
how do you
again.
not go after Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson?
You know how much I would
I
have
wouldn't want
loved to
Russell.
watch Jameis with Jamar Chase?
Oh, god damn, dude.
Do you know what we lost out on this season?
know.
In the
I
quotes?
I had-
You would never run out of a quote
I
after
had
an
Jamar
episode.
Chase. I was crossing my fingers like, get Jameis down there, dude. Get Jameis down there. He's going to
Jamar-
go for 202 touchdowns
yeah.
every week.
Yeah, he would probably go for 202 touchdowns every week. Absolutely.
And the Bengals would lose almost every one of those games, but I don't give a flying fuck about that.
The sound bites that we would have got from it. Because, Chase is a hothead, too. that guy could have got some good sound bites by the end of the year because he always says dumb things. Oh, man. They didn't even call him.
There was one point in the during the Bengals-Lions where Jamar Chase was leading the team in tackles.
He had
For the
3
Bengals.
tackles.
Yeah.
3.
Which was leading the team for like the
That's
first half.
insane.
That's how many picks fucking Browning was. That's how bad Browning was. He was letting a receiver for his own team lead the team in tackles.
There's people that play IDP,
Unreal.
which is individual defensive player, that are probably pissed about that game because you get like 2 or 3 points per tackle.
Yeah.
So he probably would have had some like absurd games. He had 2 touchdowns and 3 tackles. Like, he would have been by far one of the best players. That's why the Travis Hunter thing's interesting because like everyone's like, oh, is this guy gonna break IDP fantasy football?
Oh, yeah. He
I've
definitely would.
done IDP, and it actually is it's fun.
I've done it once. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's
We can always vote on it next year if we want to do that.
Just as an option.
Job kickers. Add IDP.
I don't think we should do it with our group here. I think it's a lot to add to people who don't pay.
True.
You got to
But
be
you just-
sweady.
Well, there's got to be.
There are
fantasy
sheets. There are
to show
sheets
you-
for IDP
Yeah.
positions. It's just where do you draft those players?
We vote on it. We're a democracy.
Yeah.
Add it to the list.
I would vote it as an option.
I was kicked out by a couple people this year that we should add an IR to our roster slot next year, which I wouldn't mind, and I wouldn't mind doing that for next year rather than wait till next year to vote and then do it the following year.
I think
Honestly,
you
I'd
could
like
just
to
say
find
at
out
the
a way
beginning
for
of
the
the
league
season.
to like vote.
Could always
sometime
toss
at
it
the-
out as like a poll or something.
Yeah, I'd like to find ways at the end of the year to vote on shit for the following year instead of because we always vote on stuff and it's like, all right, it's not this
Everyone
year, it's
forgets.
next year is when it happens. So it's like a whole year removed from when we vote shit in. So I'd like to do that in a different way somehow, but it's hard to get everyone together. Like the draft days when everyone comes.
I think for
gets
something
together.
like that, though, I think it's fair to vote for it and then implement it that season because, like, you're not going to change how you draft by adding an IR spot. It's literally just a convenience for your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
I think the ones like with the draft picks and like we talked about keepers, those we need to. not just switch
for
the day of the
if
draft.
we do
That's not-
keepers, then the IR position would totally help.
Did we do keepers? I can't remember. If we
Keepers
voted.
are in next year.
Yeah.
That's right. We did vote keepers.
Yeah, so that would, in a situation like, your number one pick gets thrown on IR for the season,
Yeah.
instead of wasting up a bench spot, it would be nice to throw them on IR.
I agree. It would. I kind of thought about this season because even though I didn't have anyone IR, I was like at a weird spot where I didn't want to lose anybody, and I was like, man, if we had like one guy, I do have some guys injured, but it's like, okay, I could easily put them in my IR spot for a game, and then pick up a running back that could go off, and then have a good running back that someone got injured in front of.
Well, we'll deal with it one way or another.
Yes.
I say vote for it.
Any other NFL talk?
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Brandon Aubrey missed an extra point. I think it's the first one ever or something like that.
People be doing that this year. I was looking into the kicking and why kickers are making for so long now, and apparently like they give the teams the balls before the game, and they can do whatever they want with them. It's like if you want to deflate them a little bit, you can. So the Deflategate thing's gone. Like they just give a team a big pile of balls. You can go and you can like. Apparently, like the kickers, they take them and they like fondle them. They like put heaters on them and shit to like soften up one part of it, and then you put that ball on the field when you're kicking the field goal. And each team gets a set of balls that they can use how they want.
That might make sense.
And I think the NFL rules still apply, but they're not really. They don't really care. They're just like, here's your balls. Go do whatever the fuck you want with them. We're not.
So
We're not regulating it like
I feel like I've seen more.
But I heard that's part of the reason why kickers are just drilling it from so far now.
Yeah. I haven't actually looked this up, but it just seems like there's so many more like 55+ yard field goals that are happening this year. Like 55 to 6.
years.
Like Aubrey pounded that 64-yarder.
Yeah.
I know there's been a 60-yard field goal this year.
We tried a 64.
There was a 70 in preseason.
Oh
And I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised there's a 70 by the end of the
there
season.
was a
to be perfectly
70-yarder.
honest.
Who hit the 70-yarder in preseason?
That was the Jaguars, I think.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
remember who their kicker is, but
I think they're also just getting so skilled because I don't think that was like a position that was looked at as much. But now with like so much easier access to video, you can literally look at like the mechanics so much closer now. And I bet you like these guys are all being trained like very similarly to like here's how you maximize your distance. Look at this guy. This is why he got so much further. And then like now they're figuring it out.
I feel like they got to do something about that sooner or later, though, because I don't like you kick off, and you catch it in the end zone. You get it on the 35. Now it's like, all right, we needed to get 10 yards, and we can kick a field goal. Like, dude, what the fuck? That's not football. That's lame. I think that's lame.
I mean,
I'd rather
that's
see more.
literally football.
Yeah, I'd rather see more American football than kicks.
Just make everything outdoor stadiums, and then you're good.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Fixed.
Eventually, the sport will just merge with rugby.
Yeah. Rugby's fun.
Rugby is fun.
Also, I didn't see it during the game, but I heard afterwards that the Vikings kicker kicked one of the camera cables on that one kick that he missed wide, just terribly to the right. It was way wide right.
Oh yeah, no, it.
And everyone was like,
legitimately
"What the fuck? How did he miss?" Like, it was such a terrible kick. It's like they didn't get blocked. And everyone's like, "Nah." They
And yeah,
blocked.
that's
how did he
supposed to be
fucking miss it
re-kicked.
by like it was like 30 yards to the right. Maybe not 30, but 15, 20 yards to the right. It's like he's not that bad of a kicker. Like, what the fuck happened? And then yeah, they saw it. And it's like, oh yeah, it fucking bounced off a cable in the air and goes to the right. But none of the refs saw it. None of the coaches saw it. Nobody saw it. And it just didn't count. I mean, the Vikings won
How do you
anyways.
not see that though? There's like
You
a
would think
camera.
so.
Like you've been to a game. You've seen the cables. Like you can see the cameras.
You would think so, but like, I mean, when I was watching on TV, like, I didn't see it like suddenly like juke. It just seemed like.
Maybe
It
it
went
was
right.
just a little bit.
But sometimes you see the ball and like it hooks a little bit, so I was like,
Yeah.
he hooked it right.
It
but
wasn't
he
like
was-
egregious where it's like it just like shot off. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is more like a slow like fade to the right after it hits. So yeah, I guess, but I still feel like you would be like, oh, there's a camera there. Isn't
Yeah. Well, it's like it's in London too, so they might not have the same setup of being like get the cable up because they're about to kick off. Like
It's true.
it's London, they don't play football, they play soccer. The ball's never going that fucking high. They don't. They don't know about that kind of shit. And they don't know about how fucking far kickers and how high kickers can kick nowadays either. They're probably like, well, last year no one kicked this high. Just put the camera right there. It'll be fine. Yep. Any other last comments? Okay.
No.
Football.
We'll call her there. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And enjoy your Jameis Winston quote of the week. Good night.
Bye.
We just got our totally kicked. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. The second half, we couldn't stop the run. Every time they got the ball, they went down and got points. We got our totally kicked in the second half.